What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Miss Eha, coming live with Journey with Trish, the podcast, all the way from Houston. Before I get started tonight, let me go ahead and give you my medical disclaimer. Neither myself, Patricia Reed, aka Miss Eha de Jimenez, Journey with Trish, the podcast, any guests are here to give you any type of medical or psychiatric advice. If you're here for any type of those emergencies tonight, I would defer you to your nearest emergency room or contact your primary care provider or your psychiatric provider because I am not your provider tonight. Also going to go ahead and throw out my trigger warning because tonight's topic is it may at some points it may touch on some mental health, of course, and it may touch on some physical abuse and also some verbal abuse. So just to throw out that trigger warning, if it's something that you know you are not able to sit through at this time, I totally understand. Please go ahead and take the opportunity to like, comment, follow, and of course share because we want to reach as many people we can with this topic tonight. So our topic is going to be kind of broad tonight. We're going to be talking about male chauvinism. We're going to be talking about misogynism, and we're going to be talking about superiority complexes. And somebody also asked me to touch on that word that we use and throw around so much on social media, which is narcissism. Let me go ahead and say there have been some recent events that kind of propel me to do something I was already going to do anyway. This particular topic was already scheduled for tonight. It's actually been in the works for quite some time. I actually had a guest who was supposed to join me tonight, but she had to work and so she couldn't join me. So I wasn't going to do the topic until said recent events occurred, and it was kind of, I felt like that boost that I needed to go ahead and bring the information to you, my girls, and even some guys who may need this information because it's definitely something that's very sensitive. But that's what I do. I have those uncomfortable conversations. I also felt like it probably was very important for me to do this topic by myself tonight. I do have a guest who's going to come on later in the week to expand some more on this topic, who just happens to be a male guest. But tonight, because, my emotions, if I'm being honest, are actually still pretty high. I didn't want to get into an arguing or a fighting or a screaming match or take my emotions out on anybody else. So I just felt like it probably was a good idea for me to be here by myself tonight. So here I am. So as far as the recent events, I know that a lot of you have seen me posting over the past, actually just since yesterday, you've seen me posting what seems to be some defensive like posts, and they are. But if you follow me, you know that over the past few weeks, I've actually been posting about this. Probably a week ago, I posted the 10 signs of a male chauvinist. So I assure you, it's something that was already in the works anyway. Yesterday, here's what happened to make me say, all right, yeah, this is your sign to go ahead and do it. So I was scrolling through Facebook, as per usual, and I just happened to land on a video. Most of my followers and people who watch this will be from the Mobile, Baldwin County area, even though I'm in Houston right now. But one of the local DJs back there made a video and he posted it. And in the video, he asked to address ladies for about 30, 45 seconds, real quick. And in that video, what he said was, ladies, for those of you who dress provocatively, or for those of you who walk around with half of your stuff out, if you're looking for a husband, ain't nobody gonna marry you. I'm not gonna be able to. If I was gonna have what he said verbatim, I'd post the video, but we ain't gonna do that. So what he said in a nutshell was, don't nobody want you if you do all that. Ain't nobody gonna marry you if you do all that. Kind of triggered me just a little bit, because while my mindset is where it is now because I'm 50 years old and I've had to deal with that kind of, those kind of male chauvinistic comments um and opinions. He didn't state it as if it was an opinion. He stated it as if it were a fact. I myself have had to learn not to get on social media, even though I do consider myself the Black girl advocate. When I speak, I cannot speak for all women. Okay. So you won't get me getting on here and saying, ain't no woman gonna put up with that. Because you know why? A lot of women will. I was one of them who put up with a lot of things for a lot of times that people said ain't no woman going to ever put up with. So speak for yourself, kind sir. When you get on social media and you say things like ain't no man going, do you have any idea the amount of women who have had to sit there and endure a man telling her ain't nobody else gonna want you? Do you have any idea what that feels like? Sir? So you have to be careful when you get on social media, right? The difference between me and other people who get on social media, well, a lot of people who get on social media, is when I post, I actually care. Okay. Excuse my French, but I actually give a shit about what I say and how it affects other people, especially women. I do feel that as a social media presence, I have a responsibility, especially calling myself the Black girl advocate, to advocate for people. I have a responsibility not to intentionally hurt anyone's feelings. Do I give encouragement? Absolutely. Do I give words of wisdom? Absolutely. Do I even say things like, it might not be a good idea, or maybe you shouldn't? At the end of the day, each person is responsible for what they do. When I graduate, I'm going to do better. I promise. Each person is responsible for what they do. That is true. But you don't know what kind of mental situation somebody is in, how they're feeling emotionally. You don't know what's going on in their household. Okay. You don't know how they're being treated in their households. So for you as a man who is supposedly getting on here, trying to help a sister out, that is not what you're doing. And for any woman who got on there yesterday or jumped into his comments and was a part of his amen choir, I don't appreciate you for that either. Why? I know you have an opinion. Should we walk around? We all know that there's a such thing as a professional presence. There is a certain way we should carry ourselves. There's also a way to teach people. There's also a way to speak to people. There is also a way to get your point across without just like tearing people apart and tearing people down. And so when I made the comment, yeah, and I say it all the time. I said it when we were talking about spring fling before. With all the stuff that's going on in the world, with all the violence that's going on in Mobile and Houston, with all the black on black crime and these kids killing each other, how in the hell did we get so focused on women and what they are wearing that only gets attention when somebody gets killed? That's the only time you hear about it. For a couple days, everybody's all upset and distraught, and it goes away. And we right back on here bashing women. It is distasteful. It is disrespectful. So let's talk about the first part. Let's talk about the misogynist part of it. And see, with this word, I thought about it a little bit today. I thought about it a lot today. A misogynist is defined as a male misogynist is a man who hates a woman, who just has an utter disdain and dislike for women. But you know what, sis? I think that we have come to such a time to men and women just to seem not to like each other no more. How did we get here? How did we get to the point to where we just don't even seem to like each other at all? To where we just got to be tearing each other down, tearing each other apart all the time. But I can tell you, we used to talk about male bashing all the time. And y'all take it as a joke when we say stuff like y'all getting real sassy. But I promise you, the tables have turned. And maybe we should, sit here and be like, oh, well, now y'all see how it feel. Maybe we do. It's disgusting. It's disgusting, but I still don't think, because the kind of things that we talk about when we talk about guys is we talk about the fact that it might be one out there that's beating on us. We talk about the fact that it might be one out there that's cheating on us. We talk about the fact that it might be one out there that won't go to work and help pay the bills. That's the kind of shit that we talk about when we talk about men that ain't taking care of the kids. That's the kind of stuff we talk about. But when it comes to you as a man, you have so much less that we got to worry about what we put on. We got to worry about our hair. And, is it straight enough? Is it natural enough? Is it curly enough? Is it nappy enough? We got to worry about everything. Should we wear makeup? Should we not wear makeup? Should we wear this? Should we not wear this? Is it going to be too tight? Is somebody going to have something to say? We got to worry about all of that. What y'all going to do? Put on a t-shirt, a tank top, a dress shirt, or a suit? What you going to wear? You got to choose between Jordans and some dress shoes. What you got to choose from? You have no idea. And ladies, don't you ever forget again, please, what women had to go through to fight their way out from those male chauvinistic men who didn't believe that we were capable of doing anything besides staying home, cooking, cleaning, screwing, and having babies. That was all they felt like we were good for. And we're still out here fighting for equal opportunity in the workplace. We still are. Still out here fighting to be able to make as much money as we need to be making, should be making, as they are. We're still fighting that fight. So all I'm saying is, when you get out here and you jump on their bandwagon, don't forget that. Don't forget that although you may feel like you are equal, you are not treated equally. And they don't treat you equally. You think about it, dear heart. You think about your feed. Think about that man on social media who you ain't even ever seen with nobody in public. Forget about whether or not you posting your girl on social media. You ain't never seen no boy in public with nobody, right? But he always got something to say about women, right? I know you've seen him. I know you've seen him. Always got something to say. How in the hell, when in the hell did a man start feeling that he could teach a woman how to be a woman, right? Because the last time that I checked, we out here telling mamas them boys need a daddy. You can't teach a boy how to be a man. Well, if we can't teach a boy, raise a boy to be a man, how y'all feel like y'all can get out here and teach me how to be a woman? How? See, what you can do, sir, as one man, is you can decide what you like as one man, right? And see, as one man, you can now go out and search for a woman that fits the description of what you're looking for as one man. But you do not get to speak for all men, okay? Ain't nobody gonna want you. Ain't no man gonna marry you. Are you serious? It might not even be the man you want, but baby, somebody will marry you. We say all kind of cliches. I will keep it real all night long tonight until I log off. We say cliches like you can't turn a hoe into a housewife. Let me tell you something, baby. I was out there and I was out there bad. And I was a wife for 26 years afterwards. Don't tell me what you can do. Who are you, sir? Maybe I wasn't always a good wife. I wasn't always the greatest wife. But I was a wife. Somebody wanted me. Somebody married me. Had other proposals too. Sir, for you to get out here and tell women that ain't nobody gonna want them, ain't nobody gonna marry them. Shame on you, sir. Shame on you. I think it's probably about time everybody starts staying in their own lane. Women and men alike. Stay in your lane, right? Because like I said also yesterday, I'm gonna need men who said this. I'll tell you later. I'm gonna need men to get out here and start mentoring these young men for real. And don't feel like a failure when in mentoring these boys, because in mentoring young ladies, I don't always get it right either, right? They don't always do what I say, right? But I know my job ain't done yet, right? So because my job isn't done helping young ladies, I'm gonna still stick over here. I'm gonna stay over here with these young ladies, right? And I assure you, your job is not done mentoring young men, not with the crime rate the way it is. Your job mentoring young black men is not done, sir. Stay in your lane, sir. That's what you need to be doing instead of being out here. Now, if you have children, right? And I said this also yesterday. You know how your grandma they used to say, sweep around your own back door? Bruh, sweep around your own ass. Okay? Sweep around your own ass. The asses that belong to you, the asses that are attached to you, the asses that you carry on your shoulder, on your arms. You know, those are the asses. Oh, I have an anonymous comment. Do not let me forget to read it, because this person really wanted me to read the comment. And I feel like it is just a very good comment. So actually, let me go ahead and just read this comment now. Uh, so anonymous person says, I told you these ninjas be in competition with these women because they think they're the prize. These ladies can be covered from head to toe and wouldn't give a lame like ninja the time of day. But ninja think all he got to do is go to work and that's it. But most women need a man that can stimulate their mind, body, and their soul. These some bare minimum type ninjas with a small-minded mentality. The most confident ninja will walk around with the baddest B, regardless of whether she's wearing it with a smile on her face, because he knows that the next man can't compete where there's no competition and where it doesn't compare. And that's facts. Keyboard ass ninjas, she says. She said, if the ninja would put more energy in his confidence than what a woman is wearing, he might be able to walk around with his shoulders back and his head up when he walks in with her, right? Makes sense to me. That ninja hate women, period. You got to recognize when these, I, you know, when I think about the word misogynist, I always remember the MG from misogynist, because I remember that by like OMG, oh my God, OMG, ninja, who hurt you, right? Because somebody, I just believe in my heart that somebody had to hurt you. I can't believe that you just got up one day hating women to the point to where you got to just bash them on social media and tell them, don't nobody want them. Ain't nobody gonna want you if you don't do this. In order for somebody to want you, you got to do this. You got to fit inside the box that I create for you, right? Earlier today, when I posted, I also put a little comment down in the comment section, and this is something that I was taught in church about conviction, right? You know, a lot of times we don't, and y'all make sure, if the sound goes in and out, make sure you let me know. A lot of times when it comes to conviction, right? Like we say we don't want to go to church, we don't feel like we can get closer to God because we don't think that we can give things up, right? And so what I was taught is, as you grow in the Lord, he will begin to convict you in certain areas, right? And so all of a sudden you just start to feel uncomfortable doing certain things. You used to go out every night, but you ain't really feeling it no more, right? And so I feel the same way about relationships. If I'm not in a relationship with anybody, well, who am I trying to impress? Right? But see, that's the problem. At some point over the past year, it seems, or at least maybe I didn't know because I was a single. Maybe I'm just knowing now because I'm single. But what I've noticed the most, if you know me, if you follow me, if you know me all my life, you know if I go out somewhere, I'm about to put it on, right? I don't care if me and my girls go out with just girls, I'm about to put it on. If I went out with my husband, I put it on, baby. If I go out by myself, I put it on. I'm sitting in the house right now doing a podcast with a dress on and heels. Ain't nobody here but me. And I still put it on. Right. So I think Christabella said it yesterday. When did women dressing up and feeling good about themselves and feeling sexy become an audition for marriage? See what I'm saying? Y'all always men, a lot of men, see I'm saying a lot of men, not all men, but a lot of men for some reason seem to believe that we do everything for attention, but y'all are the most those particular people are the most attention people seeking people like I've ever seen in my life. It's not us seeking attention. It's not us. I think you're a little intimidated or a lot of intimidated, right? Because you got to be pretty confident. Let me tell you something. And I know this to be a fact. You cannot be subpar, average, confidence type dude and go get you a fine, fly ass woman. You can't do it. You cannot do it. Why? Because you're going to think just like that. Because in this video, it was actually said that I don't want you to go out, with all your stuff hanging out, and looking too provocative because I don't want nobody to say nothing to you. Because then I'm gonna have to fight, and I might catch a case or something along those lines, you know. And I asked the question, I personally asked the question, help me out, right? Where do we draw the line? Like when you say half naked, when you say half dressed, when you say provocative, when you say this, where do we draw the line? And there was a lady who jumped on and she said, well, what he means is, women that might go out, with her titties out, with sloppy, like titties looking sloppy, or her ass out, right? Where do we draw the line? Right? I think we're focusing too much because just like y'all said it yesterday, they ain't gonna listen anyway, right? So if you know they're not going to listen, why are you on here bashing them? Because I'm never gonna have a conversation. I'm never gonna sit here and do a podcast for an hour, sometimes 2 hours. You think I'm gonna do that? Feeling like I'm not going to reach anybody? Why waste my time? That's bullshit. Nobody posts on social media not wanting to reach. It's all about reach. You a content creator. It's all about reach. It's all about likes, comments, follows, shares, and interactions. That is why you do it. Maybe you just didn't care who interacted. You just cared about the likes, comments, follows, and shares. Not me. I care about people. That's why I do it. That's why I do it. Okay. The comment was also made that because I'm not a woman, I'm not going to understand. I've said something similar when it comes to men, when it comes to cosmetic surgery. You're not going to understand why I feel this way about my body after having all these kids because you're not a woman, right? But I mean, you're not going to understand how I feel. You're not going to understand how I think and how I see myself. But you understand words. You understand what I say. I heard what you said and I understood what you said. You said it very clearly, very articulately, if I might add. Ain't no man gonna marry you. So my other question was, because I had another, somebody who I consider myself to be very cool with, also went on social media right after this other post and made a post asking women what's like something like I want to know the logic behind why you go out in public looking like prostitutes. My question, I want to know why men are so concerned about women who are not on their arms, that they don't want and that don't want you. If she don't want you and you don't want her, why are you so concerned about what she got on? You just want women to do better. And that's how you going to get them to do better? By calling them, telling them they look like prostitutes? That's how we talk to women? That's okay? It's not okay. It's not okay to talk to your children that way, right? You say that all the time. It's the way to talk to these kids. But we can just say what we want to say to women and then we just brush our shoulders off. It's supposed to be okay because we're strong Black women. So we can just take it. You can just keep pushing our buttons and pushing our buttons and pushing our buttons like y'all been pushing mine for months and months and months. And I've been holding it back and not saying nothing until I just couldn't take it no more. Why can't we do better as a people? The Bible says, with loving kindness have I drawn men unto me. That's what it says, churchgoers. So I don't get it. James Lewis says, because I don't want my 80-year-old mom or someone else's children to see that out in public, for one. It's public. You can't tell people what to wear in public. And there again, like I said, even if you were going to address it, and I thought you and I was going to, I thought you was coming on the podcast and we was going to talk about it then. But now that you've let everybody know who you are, I'll address it. Like I just said, it's okay for you to have an opinion. It's even okay that it makes you feel uncomfortable. I get that. But it's how you talk to people. It's how you talk to people. Because also, just like I said, when we get on what's happening now in all of these cities, or WKRG or WALA, and those, white people are tearing us new assholes, talking about our kids, talking about our parenting, talking about how we trash, we ain't no good, we gangsters, like all the stuff that they say about Black people, and we rag them for it. We feel like they are so horrible for it, but then you're going to get on here and do the same thing about women? Expect that shit to be okay? It's just going to fly? What's the difference? Oh, because we all Black? Because we all Black, that means we just get to talk to each other any kind of way, and it's cool. It's cool when they do it. It ain't cool when they do it. It's cool when you do it. It ain't cool when you do it. It ain't cool. All I'm saying is learn how to talk to people. Learn how to get your point across. Learn how to help people without hurting people. We're already a nation of hurt people. And the hurt people are who are hurting people the most. So who hurt you? You can't say it was just a question. What I'm going to do, if you're going to come on a podcast on Thursday, we will talk about it then, because it was absolutely an attack when you sat there and addressed them as prostitutes. J45. All right. Let's go with male chauvinists first, right? Because I want y'all to understand, instead of me sitting here and making it up, or having you believe that I made it up, I printed the research, so I'm not just pulling this off the top of my head. A male chauvinist is a man who holds the belief that men are inherently superior to women, and this belief leads him to treat women with less respect, less equality, and less consideration. The term often suggests a belief in male dominance and a dismissal of women's capabilities. Here's some signs that you might be in a relationship or know a male chauvinist. Belief in male superiority. They believe that men are naturally better than women in various aspects of life. Unequal treatment. They may not treat women the same with respect, courtesy, or consideration as they would treat men. They may downplay or dismiss women's achievements or capabilities. Potential for prejudice and bias. They may exhibit prejudice or bias against women in various contexts. They are often referred to as male chauvinist pigs or sexist. Male chauvinism is also seen as a form of misogyny. Misogyny is hatred or contempt. They just don't like women. This makes it a little clearer. All right. You might be in a relationship with the male chauvinist or no one if they are constantly interrupting you in conversation. Whether you're speaking about your day or expressing an opinion, he cuts you off mid-sentence, showing little respect for what you have to say. You can't get a word in edgewise, right? He's continually validating himself as a nice guy. I'm a good guy, right? I'm a good catch, right? Have anybody say that? Mm-hmm. You ain't gonna find no better than me, right? I'm the prize. I'm a whole package. Guys saying stuff like that. All right. Periods are fodder for his humor. Chauvinistic men often reduce women's experiences like they think it's funny, like it's no big deal that you're on your menses. They make jokes or excuses for everything. Like they just joke about everything. Nothing is serious to them. Um, Dismissing your emotions as hormonal imbalances. You must be on your period. What's wrong with you? You must be on your cycle. It ain't the fact that you just pissed me off 5 minutes ago. You on your cycle, right? He could be a male chauvinist. If you're successful in your career, he doesn't celebrate your wins. He get kind of jealous, right? Instead, it seems to make him uncomfortable or even resentful, as if your success threatens his sense of masculinity. All right. He's a little intimidated by the fact that you make more money than him or something all of a sudden. So what? He's still in the same household. We all got the money, but they don't like that about you. He insists that his controlling actions, like telling you what to wear, you read that again. He insists that his controlling actions, like telling you what to wear or where to go, are for your own good. He frames his dominance as a protection, making it harder to recognize for what it really is. Right? This is all for you. Like, you don't need to wear that, because if you wear that, somebody may say something to you. And if somebody says something to you, then I might get in a fight. And then if I get in a fight, I might go to jail. And then if I go to jail, who's going to be here to help you take care of the kids? So you can't wear that. This is for your own good. Okay? He explains things to you that you already understand or are an expert on, assuming that you lack the knowledge simply because you're a woman. Y'all thought I was making this up, right? Y'all thought when I was breaking down all of that from before that I was making this up, right? Let me read this again. He explains things to you that you already understand or are an expert on, assuming that you lack the knowledge or simply don't understand because you're a woman. Compliments are reserved for your looks. When he praises you, it's always about your appearance. Your intellect, talents, or accomplishments are rarely, if ever, acknowledged. Male chauvinist. If you have close male friends or colleagues, he becomes possessive and suspicious, suggesting that these relationships are inappropriate or threatening. Ladies, some of y'all can't even go to work in peace without being accused of being with your manager. Some of y'all manager can't call y'all at home about the keys that you accidentally took home without him accusing you of going to take back the keys because you're going to meet up with your manager for something else besides work, right? You can't even work peacefully because he thinks you're messing around with people at work, right? I know it's happening because I've seen it. All right. He holds rigid ideas about, listen to this. Listen to this, ladies. He defines what a real woman should be. I didn't make this up. He defines, I hope that there are some guys out there who notice some of this stuff in yourself and get some help, go and work on it. He holds rigid ideas about femininity, expecting you to fit into his definition of what a real woman should look like, act like, and do. Shall I repeat that one so you believe me? He holds rigid ideas about femininity, expecting you to fit into his definition of what a real woman should look like, act like, and do. Number 10, when you bring up important topics like gender equality or women's rights, he dismisses the conversation, showing no interest or understanding or otherwise significance of what you're talking about, right? Kind of like what's going on right here. When you bring up important topics like gender equality or women's rights, he dismisses the conversation, showing no interest or understanding of that significance, right? Mm. You see what I'm saying? Kind of just like, I don't want you to dress up like prostitutes, and I'm telling you this for your own good, would be benevolent sexism. You see what I'm saying? All right. Lastly, is the number 11, financial control. Is his women, financial abuse, right? He seeks control over the household finances, making decisions without consulting you or limiting your access to shared funds. This form of control is often disguised as managing finances, but is actually a way of keeping you dependent on him. Those are the 11 top signs of a male chauvinist. Tell me you don't know one. And maybe they don't meet the full description, but they don't have to meet all of them. Hell, if you got 6 out of 10, that's pretty bad. That's a male chauvinist, ladies. That's what our ancestors fought for, to get us from under the realms of male chauvinists, so we could be free, so we could be free to be us, so we can be free to work, so we can free to be make money and make our own decisions and vote and have our own checking accounts and manage our own finances if we need to, or at least have access or privy to the finances. You know how many women are out here that have no idea what their checking and savings accounts look like? Don't even know how to manage money. And then something happens to that man and he dies, and now they are sitting here, don't even know how to pay bills. We're not going to sit here and pretend like this ain't really happening in real life. In our community, it's happening in both of them, Black communities and white communities. It is definitely happening in Black communities. The difference in a misogynist and I talked about. I wanted to talk about male a superiority complex, right? When somebody thinks they're superior to others, usually it's because they feel inferior. Okay? So you have a misogynist who hates women, posts about them on social media all the time, talks about them like a dog. Always got some shit to say about women. If you don't like women, just say that, right? That's what we say. If you don't like women, just say that. You got a male chauvinist. And then we're going to talk about narcissism, and we're going to talk about, it's 8:08 already. I'm sorry. We're going to talk about superiority complex, because I want to be able to tell you the difference between the two. All right. So narcissism. Somebody who is a narcissist is very, what we call, grandiose. Like, they have an exaggerated sense of importance. They're great. Everything is great about them. They're the best at this. You can't do anything better than they can. They're also very manipulative, especially in relationships, right? Because they also want to convince you that's in the relationship with them how great they are. A lot of women are in relationships with males, and you feel like you aren't being treated. In public, you're treated like a queen, but behind closed doors, you are not treated like a queen. And a lot of times, you feel like you're a trophy, right? You feel like the only reason he's with you is because of why he's with you, which is because you make him look good. You make him look better, right? And so, while a male chauvinist may not want the most attractive woman because he's a little intimidated by that, right? A narcissist wants a very attractive woman. He usually dresses very well himself, usually well taken care of, may drive expensive cars, even whether he can afford them or not. He may drive very grandiose, like expensive cars, very flashy at times. And his woman, he wants to, meet that. You remember Diary of a Mad Black Woman, he puts me in the mind of a narcissist. Right? You remember Diary of a Mad Black Woman when he, left her, boarding the other woman? He reminds me of a narcissist. Him and also the other one. I can't think of the other movie, but Blair Underwood. He was definitely a narcissist. He was an attorney in that movie. But anyway, I got off track. So a narcissist is very manipulative, right? When you hear us throwing around the term gaslighting, narcissists are very good at gaslighting, right? They do stuff and they know they do stuff, but they have this way of convincing you that you did the stuff, right? Right? You ever been there? You ever been there? They do stuff, and I can't even think of an example, but they do stuff, they may hit you, right? And then when they hit you, they may say things like, I didn't mean to hit you, but I had a troubled childhood, and my mom and dad used to get into it, and whenever they used to get into it, he used to hit her, and so when you did that, you made me think about that, and so that's why I hit you. They may go out and they may spend all the money excessively, but some way or another, they figure out a way to turn it around and make it your fault that they spent the money. They cheat. They cheat and they cheat, and then they come back and they tell you or something like, well, I tried to talk to you that night because I was really going through some things, and I really needed you, but you were too busy in there taking care of the kids. And so that's when I went out to the club, and and Keisha was at the club, and so I really didn't mean to mess around with Keisha, but if you would have paid me some attention instead of combing the baby's hair for school and fixing their lunch for tomorrow, I wouldn't have been at the club with Keisha. Narcissists are very manipulative. All right. Somebody with a superiority complex, it can kind of seem the same as a narcissist, right? Hope I'm explaining this to you correctly. Somebody that, because I didn't write this down, somebody that has a superiority complex, like I said, they too feel like they are better than everybody else, right? They feel like everybody else is inferior to them. However, that's actually their own sense of inferiority. Does that make sense? They put on this whole facade of being so grandiose and special and wonderful when they actually feel like they are nobody or nothing, right? They don't care about the people they may hurt in being superior to these people, because these people are dumb. These people are stupid to them. They don't care about these people. They don't care about anybody except themselves, because they are superior to these people. So your superiority complex person, you don't always accuse them of being manipulative. They don't care to manipulate you. They don't give a shit about you. You mean nothing. You're nobody. You are nobody to me. Who are you? Do you know who I am? You know what I do? You know what kind of car I drive? You know how much money I make? You know how smart I am? You're nobody. You're nothing. You're upset with me. I don't care if you're upset with me. Who cares if you're upset with me? You mean nothing to me. I said what I said. I said what I said. It doesn't matter what you think. I don't give a shit how you feel. Oh, I hurt your feelings? Who gives a shit? Who are you? You're beneath me. Superiority complex. better than everybody else, has that mindset, don't care about nobody else. A narcissist, they actually want to be. Narcissists don't want you to divorce him. Now, he may turn around and divorce you when he finds somebody better. He'll divorce you in a heartbeat if he finds somebody better that may look better. He feels like may make him look better. Otherwise, they don't care to divorce you. They'll stay with you forever and make your life a living hell. Why would they divorce you? You make them look good. You make them look better. They need you to help build a certain persona. How long are we going to stay? How long are we going to stay in these relationships with somebody who's only with us because we make them look better? Sad to say, but a lot of preachers are that way. A lot of preachers are that way. And you know, it definitely looks better for a pastor to have a wife, right? I have treated women in my practice. I have treated women who were first ladies who were living in hell with these men who were pastors that were narcissists. They only had them there because they needed to be married, cheating left and right. I hope that I have helped break down for you those four, at least, so much more. But I just wanted to touch base on those tonight, and I wanted to do so because that's what I do. It's 8:17. Well, I don't have to rush. I'm thinking I started at 7. I started at 7:30, so I haven't even had an hour. Y'all been hanging with me patiently. Someone's complaining about secretly in the bathroom getting off watching porn, and same one's complaining are secretly in the bathroom getting off watching Pornhub, and it's true. Women run the world. Yes, we do, y'all. Black women are and always have been the backbone of the Black community. Don't let them take that from us. Don't let them take that from us. Please. Now, having said all that, Kenyatta Carroll says, call me women run the world. Having said that, there is absolutely a time and a place for certain attire. I think most of us know that, right? But all of us don't. Some people ain't never been to church. Some people don't grow up in church. They don't really know what to wear to church. Some people don't know what to, you know how many people I used to have and have colleagues who still have people show up for interviews dressed inappropriately. There are so many opportunities for teaching and not bashing, right? So many opportunities for teaching and not bashing because everybody doesn't know. Everybody didn't have a mentor. Everybody didn't have a mom, you know, who went to work to be able to teach them how to go to a job interview. And it's definitely not done enough in schools. I believe business classes, I think, should be mandatory in every high school program. They should all have to dress up for an interview at some point in their high school career. Every one of them should before they leave there. And early on, because a lot of them are working summer jobs, which is good training for the real world. There are so many opportunities to be able to help people. So J45, I hope that you will still come on here on Thursday and we can still talk. I did it. I just, the other person, I extended the same invite to come on the podcast so we could have a conversation. The invite was not accepted. Um, I was seen as being defensive, considered being defensive, you know, because when he stated his facts, I gave my opinion. And so I was considered being defensive, and I was the hurt dog hollering. I was a hurt dog hollering. Let me tell you something. When it comes to Black women, I will holler all day. I will holler all day long, right? When I'm out here hollering and they do that bark. Like, it's so unattractive. I don't even know why they do that bark. So unattractive. It's not cute. But anyway, when I'm out here hollering, most of the time it's not for myself. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 biological daughters and a bonus daughter. Okay. A plethora of nieces, biological and adopted. I'm everybody's auntie, right? And so if I'm going to be that person, how is it that I could get on? And it's crazy to me because, a lot of times we say stuff until it's our own. We'll bash people on social media, but not our own. Now, that person did say, they tells his daughters the same thing. Kudos to you. That's what you should be telling. If y'all don't believe that a woman can raise a boy to be a man, how do y'all believe that y'all can teach us how to be women? It gives you the right to feel like you can tell me or any other woman that ain't your woman or ain't your child what to put on, what to wear, how to get a man. You can only tell me how to get you. I don't want you. You don't want me. It's clear, right? That it is guys have made it very clear, right? If you had any type of cosmetic surgery, or if you walk around half naked, they would never marry you. Baby, I'm O&O over here. Let me tell you something. 26 years. If God never blesses me with it again, I'll have to accept it. What I'm not going to do is let anybody tell me, any man tell me what I need to do that I don't want to be with. I think that's what I was going to say earlier. As you get older, younger girls, you will begin to feel certain convictions. There are times when, for instance, today, I needed to run to the post office today. I had on some basketball shorts and a tank top. And my tank top kept rising up and my stomach was showing, right? Now, for some reason, in this particular grocery store, I didn't feel comfortable. And so I kept tugging on my shirt, pulling my shirt down, right? I was at an event this weekend. I helped with an event this weekend, right? So everybody else had on black, but I wasn't. And for the breakdown, everybody else had on black still, but I didn't have anything black to change into. All I had was brown. So when I walked into that room and everybody in there, including the staff, they all had on black, but I had on brown. I felt very uncomfortable, and so I pulled myself back out. I'm gonna stay out here. Y'all tell me what y'all need me to do out here. I'm not coming back in there. See what I'm saying? there are certain places and certain situations that you will find yourself in. And now, even though you may have felt comfortable before, you just don't feel comfortable like that here. That will come. I promise you, that will come. And you're going to also hopefully, be mentored by somebody who's loving and kind and caring, who will tell you, well, honey, if you go into a job interview, that's probably not the best outfit. You think I would go to a job interview like this? Do you think I would go to a job interview wearing this? No, I would not. I know what to wear to a job interview. And this ain't it. This ain't it. You think I would wear this to church? Absolutely not. I wouldn't. But to tell somebody, oh, and I'll say this, where like my top really like just kind of blew off, kind of the top just kind of was when it was a man don't want you to go out wearing provocative clothing or something like that, especially if you're a shapely woman. The amount of men and women that still do not know that that's an insult on both sides. Number one, how dare you hold it against me? I can't wear what I want. As much as I like it, I can't wear it because you feel like my titties is too big, so I don't need to wear that. Right? So now I can't wear what I want to wear because my breasts are bigger than my sister's breasts, so she can wear it and y'all cool with that. And she's not dressed provocatively. It's the same damn dress, but you don't feel like she's dressed provocatively because we ain't got the same shape, right? So if I wear, I'm totally covered, turtleneck dress, it just happens to be like spandex or fitted or whatever, right? Bodycon dress. So when I wore it before, because I've always worn them, when I wore them at 244 pounds and I ain't have no ass, it was okay. Because I wasn't as shapely, right? So my husband would be okay, you're saying, going out with me like that because you ain't got no shape anyway. Wear what you want to wear. It don't matter. You ain't got no shape anyway. Just wear it. But Keisha got a cute shape. She banging. She got a banging body. She got boobs and booty, right? So she can't wear the dress. Because when she wears the dress, when Keisha wears the dress, people going to be looking because she's fine. So you can't wear the dress because you're fine, sis. You see where I'm going with this? Do you see the double standards there to be able to tell one person they can wear something and one person they can't because of how shapely they are? I don't want you to do this because you got a badass shape. You knew I had a badass shape when you married me. You see where I'm going with this? But see, the thing is, we just talk. And most of us, when we talk, we talk without researching. We haven't been educated. We just talk. Now, I could probably sit here and say, well, you know what? I don't really, he said it, but I don't really think he meant no harm by it. Let me tell you the importance of social media today. Because that stuff that they say about social media is true, right? The stuff that they say about teenagers, adolescents, young people in social media is very true. People are really unaliving themselves because of social media bullying. So the fact that you would really bully on social media and then say something like, they ain't gonna listen anywhere, I don't care, they shouldn't be taking advice on social media, or they shouldn't be doing this, it's just social media. We are grown. I'm 50, and I know there's other people out here that are older than me. We are definitely responsible for these younger people who ain't where you are yet. No, you can't just get on here just saying anything. No, you can't just get out in the street just saying anything to them. No. While the younger generation is more empowered than we ever are, they are still the most fragile. They unalive themselves at a much higher rate than we did. The numbers are much worse than they were when we were younger. We don't care. Do we really not care about people unaliving themselves? Because of stuff that happens they see on social media. Social media ain't going away, but I can't charge you to be the responsible one on here. If we can't charge adults to be responsible for this younger generation of Black people who we're claiming to love so much and want to do so much better, and I'm just telling them because I want them to do better, then shouldn't we do better? Shouldn't we do better in our teaching them and loving on them and encouraging them and coaching them and mentoring them? Shouldn't we do a better job? Certainly, I want our young. I have a 20-year-old and a 24-year-old and a 30-year-old. You think I don't never tell them? You don't think them shorts too short? You might like, you're like your booty, like, right? Did you mean for that to be that way? I'm just I'm letting you know because they grown. Every one of them is grown, right? So even though I'm saying all this, please don't believe, or please do believe. Please believe me. Yes, I talk to my children about what they should and shouldn't wear in certain situations, and how they should carry themselves, and have respect for themselves, and keep themselves up, and keep their hair combed, and keep that. Yes, I do. You'd be crazy to think I don't. But if you think I want some, how is that? Please, let me send this man a link. Yo, you want a link? Because you telling me I'm James, I will send you a link. Let me send him a link. Hold on. Because he is telling me I'm contradicting myself. So let's send him a link. I think he got something to say. There you go, buddy. Click on that link right there in the comment section, right there where it says Journey with Trish, the podcast. You should be able to pop right on. I will let you in so you can tell me what you feel like I said that's contraindicated. Wow. Let me see. Hold on. I'm going to send it to you on Messenger. Oh, shit. All right, James, I sent you the link. Feel free to pop on here and tell so you can tell me what you feel like I said. How I contradicted myself. Anyway, yes, I talk to my children on how to be a lady. Things they should do and things they shouldn't do. Yeah, absolutely. They're my children. They're my children. And I talk to them in love. I do. As I wish other people would do so in love. Let's see what Christabella said. Christabella, they hate us and they hate us and complain about everything miserable, powerless. They have to compete with women, and we just trying to survive. Men don't run anything, so they mad and they can't be missed. Mad that they can't be Mister from Color Purple. Uh, here's J45. We're gonna let him come on in.
Hey, can you hear me?
I can hear him. Welcome J45 to the stage. The Journey with
First
Chris
of
the
all, let me
podcast,
say this.
everybody.
Patricia, I love you with all my heart. Yeah, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I love what you do. I love your personality. I love everything about you. You know what I'm saying? So don't get it twisted. I am not a woman hater. I just want women to do better. You know what I'm saying? Now, when I said it was a contradiction, I said that because you say, "Oh, don't you think those shorts are a little bit too short?" You told your daughter that, but when I said it's World War III,
That's my daughter.
what was
That's my daughter. And I also
understood?
didn't get on. I also didn't
Yeah,
say,
and that's
girl,
true.
where you going looking like a prostitute?
But it's not for a man to say that. You know what I'm saying? Like
Where
my
you
mom,
going
is it
looking
not
like
right
a
for my?
prostitute?
It's not right for my mom to say the same thing. Why she got them shorts up her ass like that? And you know what I'm saying? 82 years old. My mom don't want to see that. In my mom's time, everybody was covered up. You know what
That's
I'm
that's
saying?
not true.
Now it's
Listen,
like
that's
she
not
think
true.
the world.
That's not true. Because there have always been women who, as y'all say, have dressed. The women who have always been freer than other women. My mom, when my mom passed away, she was 76 years old. I can go back and pull out pictures right now of my mama wearing cute little tennis skirts and
No,
cute
I'm
little
not.
short
I'm not talking
dresses.
about tennis skirt. I'm talking about lace with your ass all out with a G-string. Wearing see-through without a bra on. That's prostitution. See, don't get it twisted. I'm not talking about tennis skirts and stuff like that. I'm talking about just see-through lace with your ass all out, and you're not wearing a bra and it's see-through in public.
So are we talking about with
That's
nipples showing?
prostitution.
Are we
Yes,
talking about with nipples, like you see nipples out in public?
yes, that's
Well, I can see how
prostitution.
that. I didn't know. I didn't say it was. It might have that appearance, and I'm not gonna call nobody no prostitute. What I'm saying is, do you know if those women, like you, do you know their backgrounds? Do you know where they come from? Maybe they are prostitutes. Maybe they aren't.
It don't matter. It's what you present it. Is what
But,
presentation is everything. It's what
but
you
does
present it to the.
everybody know how to present them? Does everybody know how to present themselves? Like I even made the comment yesterday about when I didn't know that you were kidding or joking or April fooling about running for city councilman. And I kept asking, was this the platform that you're using? Um, and so I asked you, like, I said something about like the way you speak to women. If you were running, I don't think you would get elected because more women vote than men. And you said, well, those kind of women, I ain't worried about them because they ain't
Don't
gonna vote
vote.
anyway.
They don't vote. They don't
How do
vote
how you know? You know that?
because I work at the polls. I work at the voting polls, and majority of the people who vote are senior citizens. Young people don't vote. People
So
who
we
wear
just
that type of stuff don't vote.
we
Because I'm
stereotype.
at the voting poll seeing people vote, not
So
just
we
one voting poll, but
we stereotype them, we clump them together, and we can talk to them and mistreat them and say whatever to them, despite what they may have been going through, whatever their circumstances may be. The fact that maybe they didn't have anybody there to give them any guidance and training, and they now don't matter because of who they are and how they look and how they
well,
dress.
maybe that's the root of the problem. But that's probably because we have so many broken homes. That's the root of the problem because we got so many broken homes. There's no one to teach them the correct way to, you know what I'm saying, be a decent citizen,
I think
a
that that's
decent
probably
citizen.
I think that's probably a big part of it. And then you have the ones who may have been taught. Um,
But
oh my
want
God,
to be rebellious.
yeah, there's always going to be that kind of people. But when what I'm saying is like I'm never going to be the person. Like you know how people will go out to the club or the Mardi Gras or whatever, and when they get there, they just gonna sit around the table and talk about people, right? I'm gonna look at what she got on. I got something to say about her. I'm gonna look at he got on. I
I
got,
don't do that. I don't do that.
but there are people who do. But what is the difference
Yeah,
in the ones that are in public and the ones that you see that are in the club? They're both still public places. So my thing is, I
that's
don't
true.
know what somebody's circumstances are, right? Don't come on now. I don't think anybody here is would ever believe that even I might not look at somebody and be like, whoa, you know, like wow, and as referring to what they may have on, like wow, whoa, of course,
And then you don't
uh,
you don't you don't know what it is to be a man. Like I don't know what it is to be a woman. You don't know what our hormones are because you don't have our hormones. You know what I'm saying? Men are visual. We men want to fuck, women want to get married and have long term relationships. Fact, right or wrong?
not all, not all. Like
Not
you
all. You're
might be
right,
a high.
absolutely. But majority, yeah.
There are a lot of
Majority,
men
because
out
men, okay, you took a lot of psychology in college, a lot of psychology classes. I have took a couple myself at Jackson State. Men are more logical, women are more emotional, right or wrong. That's a scientific fact, right?
No, I'm not going to say that anymore. When men, for some reason, seem to be way more emotional now than they ever have been before, and this is exactly what I've been
Because
saying.
more, do you know why?
Women, y'all
Because more
become
women
so
act
emotional.
masculine energy. Because women give more masculine energy now.
Why do you think it is? Why do you think the tables have turned? Why do you think women have become so? Why were we forced? It seems like to be more masculine, and then men in turn become so
I don't know.
less masculine
That's
and
a
more
good question.
feminine.
I would have to do my research on that. I'm just not gonna just blurt out what I
I'm talking about for
assume.
you, not other men. I'm talking about J45. You masculine or you feminine? You got a little feminine energy, or are you masculine?
I'm masculine all the way. I'm masculine. You know what I'm
Is there
saying? No,
something
ain't
wrong with
no.
having? Is there something wrong with having a little feminine energy?
Is there something wrong with having a
Yeah.
little feminine energy? I don't know. I don't. Some signs say men have some feminine energy. You know what I'm saying? At times, but no, 90% of I can say I'm masculine 90% of the
So
time.
define masculinity for me then. When you
Protecting,
say women are
provider.
okay, well,
It's
women ain't
just
got no choice
men
but
are
to
more
protect ourselves
logical.
and provide for ourselves. So that makes us masculine. Then keep going.
But the good book says the man is supposed to be the head of home, right?
Where are
The
they?
Bible.
Oh, well, I know what the Bible says, but we're talking about what was actually being done. I know what the Bible says. We both know what the Bible says. Where are the
There,
men that
there,
actually
there are men that are providers and protectors out here. Y'all just look over them because they probably don't look. They might be too short for you. They might be too fat. You know what I'm saying? They might not be desirable to you. But there's men out here that are protectors and providers.
and do you feel
Just
like men
believe
do
that.
the same thing? Do you feel like men overlook women? You ever felt like you felt
Absolutely, absolutely so. Absolutely so.
you ever
Absolutely so.
felt
See, when it comes to me, it's what's inside. I don't really pay attention to looks. I don't really, because looks can go away. But if you got intellect, you know what I'm saying, and you carry yourself with a good attitude, that would attract me. It ain't about looks, because looks can go fade away, you know what I'm saying, over time. That's just me though. I'm a rarity.
it's a blessing. That's a blessing.
You know what I'm saying?
I had a
So I mean,
for you.
I love women. I love women with a passion. It's just some of the things that they do I hate.
Like
You know
what?
what I'm saying? So don't get it twisted.
Like what?
Just the masculine energy. Like, did you see all those videos of all the women fighting at the horse show? I hate that. Women fighting and everything. What's up with all this masculine energy? Y'all got to fight, stab people and all that. Women ain't used to be like that.
You think
Women
that
fight more than men now.
that might be
That's
true?
sad.
You think
That
that
is
comes?
sad.
Do you think that that's coming from masculine energy? All that fighting? You think it might be something
I
else
mean, come
besides?
on now. Men,
Well, I
men
mean,
are made to
fighting
be
is
warriors. Men are warriors. We went when it comes to back in the day in the tribes, we was the one to go out and get the food. We hunted. Women didn't go out and hunt back then, and if they did, it was a very small percentage, right around.
That's true. I'm with you when you're right. So let me
You
ask you
know
a
what I'm
question.
saying?
Because, like, weren't a lot of the females that were fighting younger females?
But it still don't make it right. I mean, I've seen older women fight. Yeah, it is the younger generation. You know what I'm saying? We have failed them some kind of way. And I'm gonna tell you what's the root of it. Social media is the root.
I believe
We
that.
didn't grow up with
I
social
agree with
media.
you.
We didn't grow up with social media. Your mom, your grandmother didn't grow up with social media. And they didn't have all this masculine energy. But look today, you know what I'm saying? That, for example, that's what I don't like about women. All this masculine energy is not attractive at all.
I just don't
No
know if that.
intellect, just intellect. All this uh Megan Thee Stallion and what's the red, sexy red, got these younger women messed up in the head. The Glorillas, they got these women head messed up. These young ladies. Yeah, they
And so,
supposed to
what would
be, but
be?
they act like heathens out here.
And so, how would you? What would be a way? Because what I try not to do. If I come with the problem, I believe it's very important to come with the solution.
A solution,
Okay.
absolutely.
So when you've thought
Well,
about,
podcasts like this, where we have the dialogue, and maybe like, damn, I need to look at myself like, damn, maybe I do act a little. Have some young lady say, maybe I do act a little too masculine. You know what I'm saying?
I still
Podcasts
don't
like this
know.
have the dialogue.
It's hard to have a It's hard to have a dialogue with you though.
Why you say that?
Because like we seem to be talking over each other.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. Um, now I forgot what I was about to say. Oh, I still don't know if masculine energy though is. No, I'm gonna have to look into that and see if that's like the proper. 'Cause I ain't gonna pretend to know everything. I just
But
want to.
I'm just saying, women don't want men to be men. Like they just saying, like one of your viewers say, women rule the world. Okay, well, if that was the case, do women build buildings? Do they build the skyscrapers?
Listen, black
Do
women
do, do you
absolutely
know what I'm
and
saying?
always have
Do
black
do
women.
do do, do they do the lawn care?
Can you
Do
not
they
hear
do
me?
lawn care?
I'm sorry.
Go
Can you
ahead.
not hear me?
Go ahead.
Black women absolutely do and always have been the backbone of this world. And a lot of you see even what goes on at most White Houses. I don't know about the one that's going in office right now, but you always like you need that so strong motherly support system or that
Absolutely.
strong
But to
wife
say women
in the back
rule the
because
world,
we
just
we do,
go
and you're
ahead.
not gonna get me to change that stance because I agree 100%. We do run the world. There are more of us. There are more of us, and there are men. There are more of us who are in church than men, at work than men, and still men find a way to make more money than we do. How is that fair?
But who builds the world majority though? Who builds the world?
What do you mean? We talking about
The
buildings and construction?
skyscraper. Yes.
J45. That's so totally not important when you put it into me in the
It is
grand scheme of
important.
things.
You got a roof over
Because
your head.
you really believe that because their men are the ones that are actually out there mostly doing the construction work that y'all the most important to the world?
You got a roof over your head. If you didn't, you wouldn't have a roof. You wouldn't have shelter.
Did you listen to any of what I said about being a male chauvinist, sir?
And I'm not being a male chauvinist. I'm being a realist.
That is not being a realist. There's so much more to life than somebody that can go to work and build buildings. Because we need men that's gonna be not only out there and at the construction site or at any type of job site building buildings. We need some that's gonna come home and be fathers to these children who are
Absolutely.
currently out here
Absolutely.
running them up. We need ones that
Absolutely.
are loyal to their wives and fathers to their children. We need
Okay, let
church
me give you an
home.
example. Let me give you an example. If
You got to
somebody,
do more
okay,
than
you
just
and your
go to work
husband,
and clock in and build a building.
okay, let me give another example. You and your husband, y'all sleep in y'all house with the kids. Somebody kick y'all door in. Who going to check to see what's going on? You or him?
Let me tell you something. Here's the thing. You
Protector.
can't. No, what you're misunderstanding, sir, is most women don't even have that. So you know who's getting up to go check the doors? We are. You know who's sleeping with the gun next to their bed? We are. So you ask why women
And
are
that's
more masculine.
and you know what? That's a
Hold on.
problem because
No, 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 no. Hold on. You ask why women are so masculine. We are more masculine because men forced us to be, because they were absent, because they weren't there, because they didn't step up, because the ones that did worked all the time, and when they didn't work, and maybe sometimes they worked that hard because they had to work. I get that. I get that. But there still has to be some type of balance, which is also why I don't agree with the man who is working, 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 who has a wife at home and the kids are going to school and she's capable of working, but she doesn't get up and go get a job, so he don't have to work so hard. So I'm always going
do
to
you
see
believe
it
in gender
from both.
roles? Gender roles. Gender roles
I don't
is a
believe
real
in gender
thing.
roles. I don't believe in gender
Well,
roles. Like, no,
that's where
no.
we agree to
It's
disagree.
okay, because it's impossible, because the world would not move if we had to live on gender roles, because it ain't enough men to go around to satisfy every household. There are more households out here without men than there are with men. And we're talking
But
about
you know
unequal.
what
It's
messed that up?
impossible.
You know what messed that up? Government assistance.
No, it's
Because women had the
when there are
option.
more women on earth. There is not enough men on the earth for every woman to even have a husband. So as much as we say everybody gonna have a husband, God don't mean for us, but it ain't even enough men out here for
That's
everybody to
probably why
have.
other countries. That's why I guess that's why other countries practice poly.
Maybe so. Maybe so.
I mean, you know, to be real about it. But see, over here in this Western hemisphere, that's you don't do that. You know what I'm
Some people
saying?
do. Some
But
people do.
yeah, some people do, but not a lot of people like the other countries. Other countries they embrace it. Here's not embraced because oh, I don't want them cheating on you, cheating on me, you cheating on me. You know what I'm saying? Women want their man and don't want to share
And you don't.
here in
And,
America.
but men.
Majority of women, right or wrong.
But what about men?
There are more women than men. So
No, no, no.
one
So
man
you
with
said women
multiple
want.
wives.
So a man wants more.
One man with multiple wives sounds more logic because there's so many women.
So we're gonna base it on
But it's
logic.
frowned upon in America, but not frowned upon in other countries.
Ladies, let me tell
I'm
y'all
just,
something.
I'm just
Um,
being a realist now.
lady, and listen, let me tell y'all something. If y'all wasn't on here before, if y'all wasn't listening to me before, and J45, the crazy thing is he was on here. And half of the things that we went through on this male chauvinist list, he done checked off half of the boxes and he don't even realize it.
I'm not
And
trying to be a
we
male
call it
chauvinist.
realism. But it doesn't matter if it is.
I'm not trying to be a male. I promise. I'm one of the nicest guys
A,
you can ever
a lot,
meet.
I never
I
said
treat a
you
woman
treat
with the
like
utmost respect. I love women. I treat women with the most utmost respect.
I
You
didn't
know what
say
I'm
you
saying?
were
I don't even have no baby mamas. I'm 47 years old. I don't even have baby mamas because guess what? I'm obedient to the Bible saying that don't have children out of wedlock.
I never said that you had
I'm
to
a
have.
rarity. No, you know. Well, I mean, you made it seem like they called me a male chauvinist,
Yeah, I
and
didn't say.
I think
So that would be, we talked about this yesterday. We talked about the difference between male, because when I said male supremacist, and you said that's the first. Um, so a misogynist, like I said earlier, that's would be somebody that hates men. I never said a male chauvinist feels like he hates women or hates women. I said that they feel like they are superior to women, that and that the war would not go on without men, and women
well, the
should be very
Bible said
grateful.
we superior. The Bible said that we're superior to women. The Bible, that right? Basic instruction before leaving Earth. That's what it says in the Bible. Right or wrong?
It says what? And say, give me the scripture.
That men are the head of, you know what I'm saying, of the family.
If I ever get married again, I pray that I absolutely get married to someone who is able and capable of being the head of my family. But in order for a man to be the head of a family, he got to be able to lead. In order for somebody to submit, don't expect that just because you the man, and you go to work every day and come home, that somebody's just going to submit to you. You got to really be a leader, be a man of the house. We got a leader of our country right now. Is he a good leader? You want to
It's
submit
not.
to your president? Are you want to submit
It's
to the
not.
president we got right now?
But guess what? That just says get the right man and don't rush it. Get to know that man before you marry him.
You think it's that
Some people
easy?
rush into marriage.
You really
Do
think it's
I
that
think it's that
easy?
easy? Obviously not, because I'm not married and never been married. I'm
Never been.
taking my time. I'm on God's speed. I'm on
How?
God's speed.
Ah, so you're not one of those men out here telling women how to be women and telling women what they need to do to get a husband. That's not you.
I'm not trying to tell nobody what to do to get a husband, but I can only give advice from a man's point of view. I don't
What
want
man?
someone, huh?
What
I
man?
don't want. What you mean, what man?
You can give advice from what man's point of view?
My point of view, a man's point of view, my point of view.
From
A
your
man, a decent man
not so
who's
you know
willing
you're
to
not speaking
lead,
for
a
all
great
men.
leader,
So you're not speaking
a
for
great
all.
leader,
Have
that's
you
willing
ever
to
led a
lead.
woman? Have you ever led a woman?
Yeah, I have been in many relationships.
I'm just asking.
Technically I have had what you call it common law. At
Hmm.
one time we wasn't married on paper, but according to Alabama law, it was common law, and we had a great, relationship,
You had a
and I
great
was
relationship.
the head of the
Let me
household.
ask you. So you were head of the household. You had a great
Mhm.
relationship. Um, so you obviously picked the right person, and she obviously picked the right
Yeah,
leader.
and she passed away.
Okay, I'm sorry about that.
Yeah,
And so since then,
I
we had.
mean we were getting close to getting married, but she died of leukemia.
I'm sorry to hear that. How long were you
Yeah,
guys together?
3 years.
Okay. And that, and any other long term relationships other than that one?
No, it's like finding a needle in a haystack. It really is.
I thought
And
that
I
you
tried to be the.
right before we met that you had just ended a relationship.
I did well. No, well, yeah, but we weren't together but a year. So it's hard to find your person. It's like a needle in a haystack. I had my person. My person is in heaven now, so it's it's really hard. But hey, you do what you can. You know what I'm saying? But like I say, it's all about what's inside your heart and what's with me. I really don't care about looks. I really don't care. You know what I'm saying? I like my women natural. You know what I'm saying? That's just my preference. But you know what I'm saying? It don't have to be the preference.
You
You
worry
know what I'm
about
saying?
so when you have a woman, you worry about going out with them and other men. That ever cross your mind? Of another
I
man looking
mean,
at your woman?
I mean, I just don't like the disrespect. You know what I'm saying? Like if you see me with my woman, you still gotta make a comment like, "Ooh, damn, baby," and you see me with her. I mean, that's disrespectful. I just don't like being disrespectful.
That's very disrespectful. I'm not saying that that wouldn't be
And they do it.
disrespectful.
Men are bold enough to do that shit. Excuse my French, but the men are now bold enough. Even I didn't seen. I work in the clubs. I'm a bouncer. I even heard guys say, "What you doing with him?" Right in front of the guy. What you doing with him, baby? I got more money. You know what I'm saying? He like a bum, and it be something about to jump off, and I have to separate the two. Like this younger
Like what?
generation, they are bold.
And
The
okay, so
younger generation is bold.
they are different. They are definitely different. But you think maybe that's where it needs to start? Like it, because it seems to be right now we're just jumping straight to the girls and what they need to do and what they need to wear and how they need to carry themselves. Um,
Like me, okay, I
y'all
say
just,
this: men need to stop damn sagging. I'm
what
sick of that sagging shit.
what are y'all doing to mentor young men so they aren't like trying to educate them on not to speak on women's bodies if nothing else? Like what are we gonna do about that? Not me. What are y'all going as men? What are you gonna do about that? Like if we as women, if we agree to come together, right, and we start mentorship programs and we start talking to women about what's appropriate to wear and what may be too short for this, and um wearing a certain thing because I want you to be safe and I don't want anybody, mishandling you and mistreating you. So if we as women, because we got problems, we need solutions. So we as women, we start these minutes. What conversations y'all going and how y'all going to talk to these young men so that they
What
do
you
better?
wear is what you attract. What you wear is what you attract. If you wear trashy outfits, you're gonna get trashy attention. If you wear conservative clothing, you will get conservative men, good
You see
men,
what I'm
men that's
saying?
willing to
Do
lead.
you see what I am saying just now?
What
Hold
you
on. I asked you that if we as women said that we were going to do a better job, what you feel like is a better job to help younger ladies. I said, what job are you going to do for men? How are you going to get them to where they need to be? But once again, you're right back saying what women need to do. Women need to dress more, less trashy.
okay,
Women
man?
need to
Okay,
dress.
okay, stop. Okay, I'm sorry. I misunderstood the question. Okay, I would tell men to pull up your pants, put a belt on, because when being trashy, you're gonna attract trashy women. You're never gonna find a good woman. Dress more conservative so you get more conservative women. Attract more conservative women.
That's it.
It's vice versa for real.
That's it. Because we haven't talked anything about emotions. We haven't talked anything about self-esteem, about how to carry yourself, how to go certain places looking a certain way. Because I mean, well, they don't have to wear like they can wear a t-shirt and some jeans, right? A guy put on some t-shirt and his
But not,
jeans.
but
All he got to do.
the sagging, showing your drawers is unacceptable.
I agree. That's the only
Some
problem
women
y'all
think
got.
that shit attractive. Some women
That's the
think that's
only.
attractive.
Is that really the only problem y'all got? That's why they out here shooting each other because they pants sagging. That's why out here pushing up on girls they shouldn't be because they pants sagging. What else is there besides the pants sagging that's going on?
Conflict resolution, lack of not knowing what conflict resolution is, agreeing not to agreeing to disagree. That's one of our biggest problems in our community. And I'm gonna get with Rod Ski, and we're gonna do a town hall meeting about gun violence. We're trying to come up with the solutions. We're gonna do some series during the summer about gun violence because it's really getting out of hand with these young people in our community.
Can you do me a favor when y'all are having these meetings?
I'm
When
listening.
cause that's the most important. We like gun violence is absolutely on the top of the list,
Out of
especially
control.
yeah.
You remember that night I was hysterical when I heard those gunshots and I ran
I'll
out
never
there
forget it.
and that young man was killed. And that broke my heart. He was a stand-up guy. He was 18 years old, a senior in high school. Just was on the homecoming court, you know, and now he's gone. Won't be able to just live life.
Mhm.
go to college, get a career, get a family.
So when you're
Yes, sir.
talking about gun violence, will you do me a favor? Will you add this to your list, right? Especially in these children who are growing up in broken homes, like you said, right? Homes with no fathers, nobody
Right.
to tell them how to be a man, nobody to tell them how to talk to women, nobody to tell them how to approach women when they're going out to a party or going out to a club, right? Because if you expect us to raise better wife material, we're gonna need y'all to step up and help raise some better husband material as well, right? And so we'll do our job over
Right.
here in helping our girls, and y'all let us do that, and then y'all stay over there with the guys, right? The guys that we're worried about going in the clubs and seeing my daughter there with some shorts that they feel like are revealing or provocative, and then rather than him just walk up to my daughter and speak to her inappropriately or speak to her when she's already with somebody, or or the one that she's with, him getting upset, and the first thing he want to do now is fighting. So now they fighting all because she got on some shorts. Seems like there needs to be some work done like all the way around, and not just tell women don't wear that and it won't be no problems.
And I totally agree. I totally agree.
All right,
We,
well,
we, me
we'll
and we got to
figure
work
out
on
what we need to
ourselves.
do, work on it. And like I said, I got three girls, and you heard me say, and that's where you felt like I was uh, contra-
But
contradicting myself. I
but
don't
but
know
guess
why.
what though? But do you believe this saying? It takes a village to raise a child. Do you believe that?
I've always believed that. I've always believed that.
Okay, then. So okay, that's your daughter, but for you make this seem like it's for somebody else to say it's wrong. But
Social
it
media
takes.
is not the village. When you say it takes a village, that means people in your community. That means aunties and uncles, or maybe even some next door neighbors. Not Johnny from down the street that got on social media.
He in the
And
community though.
that it's not the
He in the
same.
community
It's not the
though.
same. That's not to see. If you want to learn, then I can teach you, because that's irresponsible. Some of the things that we post on social media are irresponsible. We talk about social media. I just talked about the numbers of suicides that are going up, how the rates are still high in our community, like black young people, and a lot of it,
Now you know where that
a
come
lot of
from?
it,
It come from bullying for
social
one.
media bullying. So why do we really
Yes,
think that it's
absolutely,
only
absolutely.
social media? All right, so then why are adults getting on here bullying on social media? Because what you did yesterday, sir, was considered social media bullying.
So guess what? We got a generation of adults that act their damn shoe size.
I
There's a
said
lot of immature.
you personally. I said what you did yesterday, not anybody else. I said what you did yesterday, posted, would be considered social media bullying.
No, 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 no. If the shoe fits, wear it. I just asked a question, and I did not. And guess what? You said I was attacking black women. I didn't even want to say nothing about black and white women because white women do it too. I said,
I don't want you to attack
what is
women
the
at all,
logic
but
of
I
dressing up?
advocate for black
What?
women. So that's why I said that. So when you say women and you say women, my mind is always gonna go straight to black women, because that's who I
But don't make it seem like I'm talking about just black women though.
what okay, I apologize for that. I certainly apologize for that. Um,
I just said, ladies, what is the logic of dressing up like a prostitute
and
in
could you
public
and like
places?
it I can at least give
And
it to
everybody has and I'm
I could at
sure
least give
everybody
it
has
to OG. I could at least give it to your colleague counterpart. He didn't even say out here just dressed up like a prostitute. Even he said provocative, which I felt like was a much better word than why y'all out here dressing up like prostitutes. Like I felt
well,
like that was that
I'm just raw and uncut. That's just me. I'm
see,
raw and
that's the
uncut.
thing. And
I keep it real.
raw and uncut is what caused people to unalive themselves, because people are raw and uncut on social media.
But before we got on here, you inbox me saying if I
I'm
have
gonna be
a
raw.
guest
I
on my
said
show,
that
that I'm gonna be in
I
raw and
have been raw.
uncut.
Raw and
Okay.
uncut, but not bullying. That's not the same.
That is not bullying.
Yeah,
I don't believe that's bullying.
you got it.
Saying dress up
Yeah.
like I didn't say
Why y'all out here
dress
dressed
up
up like
and
prostitutes?
that's a prostitute, a metaphor. Because
Oh,
women out here got see-through stuff on with their ass all out. You know what I'm saying? My mom, she looking like, why is she dressed like that? You know what I'm saying? She must be about to go to the strip club or something.
maybe
My
she
18-year-old mom says these type of things.
maybe she was. You never been to the strip club?
But come on, you dress out when you get to work. Yeah, of course, but I retired from the strip club. I don't do strip clubs anymore. I don't that's I let the kids have that. I retired from that.
I can honestly sit here and tell you, and maybe I'm the rare breed. Even though somebody,
You are a rare breed, Patricia. You are a
even
rare breed. And I love that about you. You are a rare breed.
even though somebody may wear something that I would not wear, even though I may know that this may not be appropriate, I just find it so much easier to mind the business that pays me. I never look at somebody and say, "Damn, I can't believe," you know,
Say for
like
instance, you had infant. Say for instance, you had a 3-year-old, 5-year-old, and women coming there with lace, with
it's
just
gonna
her
happen.
ass
You
all
know
out.
it's gonna happen. You know it's gonna happen. It's 2025. You know it's gonna happen somewhere. Unless they change some laws, it's gonna happen. And
Now
all
there
I'm
is
saying
an indecent. They don't enforce it, but indecency type
is,
laws.
so then that's what you do. And we talked about that yesterday. What is your political platform? What are you lobbying for? Like that's how you're gonna make change happen, not by getting on social media talking to women like Trump do.
I wasn't trying to talk to him in no bad way. It's just that was my metaphor. They dress up like prostitutes, like they're gonna go in the corner and sell some coochie. That's what it looks like.
Okay.
I'm just raw and uncut with my metaphors. I'm
All
sorry.
right. So then when Trump say stuff like that, we just gonna have to decide. We're gonna have to let him be wrong because he
Yeah,
we
hell,
gonna have to let
they
him
made
be
him
when
president.
when
They made
that
him
don't make
president. So
what
guess what?
he shouldn't be. He shouldn't be. And tell me how you
Guess
feel.
what? They made him president. Now it's a standard.
Tell me how you no, it is not. It's not my standard. Tell me what you
It
feel.
ain't my
When you
standard
was
either.
on
But
when
all the
I
people voted him in. People vote. Majority of
so
people voted him in. So all this is standard.
when I said yesterday that when we get on WKRG, WA, on all of these, what's happening, we get on these websites and we see all of those white people talking about mamas and parents and thugs and gangsters, when they say all of that stuff about our children, right? Or about parents, where were their parents at? When they say all that stuff, daddy probably in jail. What do we do?
We gotta stop feeding the stereotype. I'm just being real. You know what I'm saying? Because you see us out there fighting at the damn horse show like fucking heathens. Excuse my French. I hate seeing shit like that. You know what I'm saying? There's a mental illness going on in our community that needs to be fixed. That's not being diagnosed because we can't afford the services. There's a real mental illness in our
And there's
community
some
that needs to
real
be fixed.
and there's some real mental health resources out there, but unfortunately, the stigma that's associated with mental health prevents people from going. Unfortunately, some people don't want to use the services that are available because they may be considered a free clinic or a sliding scale clinic. I've heard and seen people frown on going to Franklin Clinic. Franklin Clinic
Because they in
also point.
denial that they
Hold
have.
on, because this is important. Franklin Clinic, also Point Health, and any other sliding scale or Medicaid based facility or free clinic offer valuable services that citizens would not be able to obtain otherwise. So if you need your teeth fixed, go to Franklin Clinic. Perhaps you had insurance before and you don't know more. So you're just gonna let your teeth fall out. You're just going to let your blood pressure stay like elevated and your blood sugar go get out of whack. Why? Because you don't want to receive services from the free clinic because you got too much pride. Mental health. You can get mental health. You go through your first appointment, and sometimes even like not even that one can be done via telehealth. So what we're going to do to increase these mental health visits, right? What we going to get to, what are we going to do? I'm always going to say it's going to start in the schools and the churches. Schools, churches.
It
That's
need
going to make
it
people
need
at
to be
home.
promoted more.
Well, schools, churches, when we start doing those promotions at home, it makes people more comfortable. In those places, it makes people more comfortable at home and having those conversations about mental health and getting to clinics. When it comes to self-esteem, a lot of these girls are out here dressing like that, absolutely, because they have low self-esteem. Some of them are. Some of them are trying to get attention. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like some of them aren't. A lot of them are, but some of them they just like the shorts. That's what everybody's wearing. That's what they want to wear. But how are we going to know the difference in the child that's wearing those short shorts because she's trying to get Johnny's attention, or she's wearing those short shorts because she just likes those short shorts, right? Because white women have been wearing short shorts for years, right? They just didn't have no asses. So it didn't matter to us that they were wearing short shorts. You know it's true. You know it's true. They are the creators of the short shorts. Soccer
Daisy
mom,
Dukes.
Daisy Duke, yes, with cowboy boots. Like, do you
Yeah.
think we just started putting on Dukes and boots? No, they created that. They created that, right? And we didn't say they had low self esteem when they did it. We didn't say they was following the crowd when they did it. If a
You
trend
wouldn't like
comes,
my mom. You wouldn't like my mom because he was talking about you can't wear certain thing because your breath is too big. My mom, this her favorite saying. Her bust too big to be wearing that. My mom old school. She said her bust is too
mhm,
big to be wearing that.
see, and that's how a
I don't
lot
know
of.
my mom. She
But your
that's
mom
just how
is
my mom.
82 years old. You, sir, are not 82 years old, and so
But guess
it's
what?
going to
The
have to
old
start
school.
somewhere. But we talking about us, right? We're gonna give mom some grace. But what we gonna do? What are we gonna do from our generation on down to help where we feel like help is needed, other than get on social media and
My thing is we need to tap into mental illness. We need to promote it more in our community because a lot of people are in denial that they don't have mental illness,
and it's not
and they
always
really
mental
do.
illness. Some everybody didn't have a mental illness. Some of us just need to address our mental wellness. Just because I have low
Well, yeah,
self,
mental wellness.
yeah, yeah.
We just need to be educated on mental education. Period.
You know what I think the biggest thing we need to do is I think we need to stop being so judgmental. I think we need to start being more sensitive to other people, men and women. Because I'm not sure if you were on here when I initially went live. But what I said was I don't only feel like men are seeming to be hating women a whole lot more. I feel like a lot of women are hating men more. Like we just got
It's a
to the point
machine.
to where we just hate each other. You
It's a
know?
machine behind it. Best believe it's a machine. It's systematically done. It's a machine. They don't want that Bill Cosby family. They don't want that. You see, they try to cancel Bill Cosby. Bill
You
Cosby
don't see
and,
why?
and, and huh?
You don't understand why they tried to
They,
cancel her?
because they don't want the black family to be successful how the Huxtables was. They don't want
That's
no
why
Huxtables.
that's you don't
It's a
remember
machine behind it. The
Jay, you
even the
Jay,
Winslow,
well,
the
you can't
Winslows.
you serious right now? I understand the Winslows, but you don't remember why the Cosby show was getting canceled?
Because they allegedly said that he was
We don't gotta
drugging
say
women.
allegedly no more because he was convicted. Like we only gotta say allegedly until he was convicted.
Well, well. I mean, if he did the crime, he did the time. But at the same time, I bet it was many other Caucasians got away with it and wasn't held
Oh, that's
accountable.
justified. So that justifies it.
I'm getting back to the subject. What I'm trying to say is that this machine, these white supremacists, do not want us to have a successful family. They don't want us to be like the Huxtables, Claire and Cliff.
I,
They
I'm
don't
just
want
not.
to. They don't want to.
I'm not blaming that on white people. I'm not gonna jump there with you and blame that on white supremacists. That they don't they even because even though they want, I don't understand what's preventing us other than ourselves. I believe we are standing in our own way. I don't understand why you don't understand that women have become more masculine, but we became that way because we didn't have a choice. I can't get you to understand that. I can't get you. And I know you can because you're a smart guy. So I know that you can hear me, but you just don't feel like you don't want to hear me. Women don't have a choice but to step up and be protectors. You sat there and you asked me who's gonna protect you. You know, if you and your husband is
If a
in, who's
man
gonna
were
jump
in
up
the
and jump through the
house,
door?
if a man were in the house,
That's what I'm trying to get you to see. How many women do not have men in the house, and how many men don't want to go in the house no more? A lot of men don't even want to go in the house no more. They have no desire,
because women have masculine energy. That's why.
and they got a feminine energy. So now what? We just supposed to let the roles because it ain't supposed to be that way, you know. And you've
It's
heard me
not
say it.
supposed to be that way.
I will literally tell anybody out there, any younger woman out there, it's about to be 9:30. It's about 2 hours. I'll tell you, any younger woman out there, honey, if you can get you some help, good help, get some help, and let some of that masculine energy go. Because don't nobody want to be that way. Women don't want to work that hard. Women don't want to be out there cutting the grass and painting the house and doing all this stuff. But if they don't do it, who's gonna do it? So don't accuse us of just being more masculine, like we just want to be that way, when men ain't stepping up to be the masculine person in the household. They ain't staying when they there. They don't want to be married. Don't accuse us of that. When they ain't got no choice but to be protectors. And as long as somebody is protecting these kids and they are being protected, somebody has to do it. You won't get me to say or pretend or be. I ain't gonna never get on here and lie to nobody and tell them I want to be masculine. I want to do everything. Am I capable of it? Yes. I painted a whole house before. It's probably why I got arthritis in my neck now. Can I wash my own car? Sure. Do I want to? No. I don't want to do. I don't want to take out the trash. I much rather have somebody take out the trash for me. But I'm capable. But I don't want to. I would love to have somebody sleeping by the door and me sleeping on the other side and not have to, think I hear something and I got to be the one to get up and protect myself. Of course, I would love to have somebody here for that. You think I don't want to get married no more for real? Absolutely, I do. But I ain't just gonna marry anybody. And
You're
apparently,
supposed to.
ain't nobody out there. It's I listen.
Like I said, it's like finding a needle in a haystack. Finding your person. It really is.
Well, I'm
Cause this dating pool
right
sucks.
now. But did when I've heard it was a cesspool, but I had no idea it was such a like it's like the New York kind of cesspool. This ain't no this this ain't like
And to
no
me,
suburb cesspool
social
like
media has made it
crime
worse.
shit. It has to be. I don't know what else it could be
Social
besides.
media, social media has made it worse for dating in our modern time.
I think it's social media. I think women have gotten tired, and I think men have gotten tired. I think men have gotten a little intimidated, if I'm being honest, but like you said about the masculine energy. Um, and what women because women will say they don't want nobody, but then in the next breath you're saying don't know woman who got $3,000 worth a month in bills got no time for no what you doing message, right? That means you would appreciate somebody to actually be there helping you with some of that $3,000 worth of bills. And you got the 50-50 conversation. Like my friend Ashley always says, I don't understand how a woman who's paying 100% of the bills won't accept 50, won't appreciate somebody that can come in and help you pay 50% of the
It's a
bills.
team effort. It's a
It
team effort.
absolutely has to be a team effort. But a lot of women are just not willing, number one, to be pick me's anymore, and they, ain't nobody out here doing all of that extra stuff when y'all have access. Like you said, a guy over here, he talking to 3 or 4 different girls. I'm not getting ready to compete with 4 other people.
Well,
But when
I'm
you
not. I'm a
finally
red
gonna
tie.
decide to sit down,
I don't do that. I'm a red tie. I don't do that. I don't. That's too many personalities for my anxiety. I can only deal with
well, James,
one.
you just sound like the perfect guy. You should already have somebody. You need to put yourself out there. You need to put yourself out there more.
I, it's just hard. I'm a picky person. Not when it comes to looks, but when it comes to intellect and and your heart. You know what I'm saying? I can tell within a 5 minute conversation with a woman that it's gonna work or it's not gonna work within 5 minutes, and I'm shutting it down. Like, nah, I'm not even gonna waste my
So
time
it's always
because I
you.
let.
So you don't ever get shut down. It's always just you shutting them
Oh
down.
yeah, I get shut down a lot. Yeah, I do. I get shut down a lot, and it messes my self esteem. I don't approach a lot of women. I have low self esteem. I do admit that. Yeah, I do.
I
I'm a
think
very shy person.
it messes
I'm
with self esteem.
outgoing, but I'm shy. I
I
do admit that.
I appreciate you being honest. Because it definitely messes. It can mess with your self esteem on both sides. So I appreciate you being honest. But you
Oh,
have
I'll
to
keep it real and mobile.
think about that though. Think about that. Think about your feelings. That's what I try to do. Like I try to think about my feelings and how I would feel if somebody said the things that I'm about to say to somebody before I say it. Because I've said, you know, I ain't always been able to have, a conversation without being belligerent and getting into it and get angry and mad. But I don't want to be that person anymore. So
Yeah.
I had to really, really work on it. But yeah, I mean, I've said some
But
mean,
I'm gonna tell you.
hateful things to people, and so
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you.
I don't like to have my feelings hurt.
I'm just smart enough and intelligent to know it's debate and nothing to like offend somebody. I try not to offend people. People, what I'm saying, seem to try to offend me, but we're just debating. I'm not trying to, what I'm saying, like just be an asshole about things. I know some things are a debate. You know
Some
what I'm
things are a
saying?
debate. I much rather just have a conversation than debate. I mean, because
We
obviously
still gonna be friends at the end.
when we
Like me
both
and you gonna
log
still be
off tonight,
friends.
when we both log off tonight, you still not gonna agree with some of the stuff I said. I'm still not gonna agree with some of the stuff
But
you
I'm
said.
gonna love you the same. But
That
I'm gonna love you the
is
same.
okay. That is okay. But it's like, I mean, but like the difference, like you and I are have already had like an established, friendship. So that's the difference. I ain't trying to make no new ones. But anyway, me and you
Okay.
are good.
I
Me
mean,
and you.
you are the inspiration. You are the inspiration to my podcast. You are a big inspiration to my podcast. Yeah.
Thank you very much. But thank you for popping on. Thank you for asking those pressing questions. Thank you for challenging me. Not just letting me get on here and say what I had to say, and you not say what you need to say because it wouldn't really be a good conversation if only one person
You
got
have
something to
you
talk.
have a beautiful spirit. You have a beautiful spirit, and I admire that about you. You do your thing. You travel by yourself if you have to. You know what I'm saying? You do things. You want to help people. I love all that about you, Patricia. Just stay being you, sweetheart.
Thank you, sir. And I
You're
will.
welcome.
You do the same. Mister, you are not helping your case. I'm sorry. Oh, it was ragging on both of us. Let me see. You have the right to
Oh, we
find.
didn't even read the comments. I didn't even see
I
any comments.
know, and it's so late now. Everybody probably gone. It was like 8:53. What time is it? It's
It's
9:30.
almost it's 9:30.
We had some. CJ Lewis. There are men. There are men and women that fit the standard as well. That's why I can never see them because they don't say. There are men and women that fit the standard as well as those who are outside of the standard. For every rapper you name, you have classy actresses that do embody a better presentation.
Yeah, but guess what? The more attention goes to Sexy Red and Megan Thee Stallion, the people that with the positive presentation or images don't get no love. You can see on social media, more negative content gets more viewers.
You
I
already
don't
know.
know. That's
You
just
know one more thing I wanted to say earlier. Um, and I'm on this. The only thing I'm gonna say, I'm gonna leave that topic alone.
am
Uh,
I still on for Thursday?
no, we don't know. I'm tired
Okay,
now.
go ahead. Go
And
ahead.
it's not you. It was just like when it comes to promoters, when it comes to DJs, I don't think it's fair to be exploitive, but then have like like talk about it on social media. Like, don't get on here and call what women wear trashy, or tell them they ain't gonna get nobody or they can cover their self up. But then when you trying to promote your next event, you posting a video with the girl with the shortest booty shorts on twerking because you know that's where your time content coming from, and you know that's how you gonna fill your club.
Roski doesn't do
I
that.
did. Let me tell you something. Let's start right
I'm
here.
sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But that's
No,
the only
no,
DJ that I
no,
know
no,
that
no,
talk
no.
like that.
Mm-mm. No, 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 no. And see, let me also say that because I did not come on here specifically just to talk about that video. Like if you like you must not have been on here earlier. This was already planned before yesterday, right? This topic was already planned. If you go back and look at my page, you'll see where I already had the 10 signs of male chauvinism posted like a week ago. This was already in the works. This was not new. I ain't just pull this together. I already had a guest and everything supposed to come on here. So, having said that, when I made my post today, I wasn't just talking about him or just talking about you. I'm talking about a plethora of men that I have known or met this time or that time or have come on a podcast or I know from my community or maybe in my family, maybe some things my daddy might have did. I am talking about men. So I hope nobody out here really thought that I sat there and took this much time to focus on one person. This is so much bigger, trust me, than one person in one 40-second video. This is so much bigger than the one post you made on your page yesterday. We are talking about women in general every day that who have to live and face and fight against men who are male chauvinists, misogynists, or have superiority complex or narcissists. That is what this is about, right? I'm not gonna get on here and even though I've told you that you do have some of you did check off some of those boxes from male chauvinists, and other people have too. Other people have too. But I ain't got on here and called nobody no narcissist. I just showed you what a narcissist is. I ain't diagnosed nobody with nothing. I ain't accused nobody of being nothing. I stated the facts that I have researched, and I gave my personal opinion on an event that happened yesterday. That's it. So I hope, sir, that you really did J45. Come on now. You really thought you was that special? I was gonna get on here and talk for 2.5 hours behind you?
Of course.
Of course you did. Of course you did. No, sir. No, sir. No. What is that? Oh, what the baby sounds on Facebook? Oh, bullshit.
What's that?
Oh, bullshit.
Bullshit.
Oh, bullshit.
too funny.
Trying it won't cut it. Do it. All right. So people y'all calling trash. Y'all. Oh, this is somebody. The people y'all calling trash are fine with attracting each other. They not thinking husband wife when they see something. Exactly. CJ is on to something. Like you said, like y'all look at people, or you look at people, and you saying what they got on is trashy, but that's trashy to you. That doesn't mean somebody else doesn't like it. I have worn, like, if I now I ain't walking downtown with nothing see through on, but if you catch me on the island, I don't care who's out there, who's uncomfortable. This is my body. We on the islands. If I want to walk around with something laced on, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. And the thing is, I don't just now do it. I did it before. I did it when I was married. Here's the thing about me when I was married, right? I've always been a dresser. My husband, ex-husband, loved to dress. However, I was typically the one that would like pick out, like when I went shopping for my vacation clothes, I'm going shopping for all his vacation clothes. When we went out on vacation, or we go out to a club or something, the caliber of people that we go out around may make a difference because we both got compliments. Men and women, like especially we're matching to be men and women. Oh, y'all look good. Y'all look really nice. You know what I'm saying? And we were fine with that. I had no problem with, I felt like my husband was very attractive. I don't understand how you could not think that the person you with is very attractive and then think that nobody else is. Right? So I felt like my ex-husband was very attractive. And I felt like other women were looking at him, and I was actually quite damn proud of that. And not only was I proud, he was kind of proud, to know that, like, he would say, like, we'd be walking, he was like, oh, I think like your shoes are like, I'm glad you got those shoes. Like, she was looking at your shoes, or everybody seemed to be commenting on your shoes. Like, yeah, those are some nice shoes. Because people say it, like, we got to get off this. It's 9:37. People say all the time, I ain't wear this to get no attention. I wore it because I wanted to wear it. All of that is not necessarily true. Let me tell you something. There's no way you throwing a pair of $300, $400, $500, $500, $600 shoes, right? And you don't want nobody to see your shoes. There's no way I'm walking around with a brand new $3,000-$4,000 Gucci purse. Baby, somebody gonna see this purse. I'm saying there's no way these women is going out here spending $45,000 on Birkin bags and they don't want nobody to see. And this is a whole Birkin bag. That is bullshit. When you get dressed up on Easter Sunday and go to church, or not to the Mardi Gras, when you get dressed up and you go to Mardi Gras and you throw on your best clothes and you got on your tux, it is no way when you put that on and you feeling good, you don't expect, you want people to see that you look good. And anybody that says otherwise is lying to themselves. And it's not that you're attention seeking in a negative way. No, I ain't but it don't mean I'm out here looking for a husband. I get dressed every time I do a podcast. When I came to your show, I came to your podcast, right? It was you there.
You looked real nice.
That's
You
gonna
looked
be me.
real elegant.
That's gonna be me every time. If I do it for my podcast, why wouldn't I do it for yours? Every time.
Absolutely. You know how to dress. You should be a model.
Well, thank you, sir. Thank you.
I'm
But what
I'm
I'm saying
serious.
is, like, you respect people for just like accept and respect people for who they are is all I'm trying to say. And if nothing else, if a guy don't take nothing else from this in this podcast today, like my girl Kim Bella said, women now ain't out here going through all that to get dressed up to go out there and audition for marriage. We are not putting on clothes. We will go to each other's house. I can have a girls' night out right here in this house with nothing but women, and we all gonna come fly. Ain't no men here to impress, and we all gonna come fly. And when men go out to the club, what if you choose to go out looking any kind of way? That's you. But most men, and like you say, find that nice caliber of men, find that professional men, find the one that's dressed. You said it, I didn't. You said find the one that's dressed for this for success, find the one that's not dressed trashy, and that's what you'll attract. That's what you said, right? So I would expect that when a man goes out, that he's gonna put on some nice clothing and go out looking good, smelling good. We love a good smelling man, right? But if I sat there and
Right.
thought that every guy in the club or the at the bar sat there, you got CJ Lewis, if I said you got Sean Sledge on here, if I thought that Sean, CJ, any other dudes that's on here, when they got up this morning and decided they were gonna go to the bar tonight, that they put on those clothes and they look good and they smell good because they was waiting for me to come in there. Maybe they just went there to sit down and have a drink, take a load off, blow off some steam after work, get away from the wife for a minute. Everybody that put on good clothes ain't going to get your attention. And I'm talking to the world now, not you, my guy.
I got you. Yeah, I get it.
But anyway, we done said the same thing over and over. It's 9:41. I so appreciate you coming on. I'm gonna go ahead and pray us on out of here because God has been faithful to us tonight.
I say.
Oh, I just closed my computer down by accident. There we go. All right. Father God, in the name of Jesus, God, we thank you for bringing us here together tonight. We thank you for the topics, and we thank you for blessing us to be able to explain the topics the best we could, for us to be able to share our views and opinions without being argumentative or frustrated. God, we hope that we have helped somebody tonight. We hope that we have been helped and been a blessing to each other tonight. But if we just helped to touch one person, one male and one female, we sure would appreciate it. We ask you to continue to bless us and cover us and protect us. God, bless and protect our young people, male and female. God, we ask for it in the way, like the message, whatever we need to do. We ask you to help us with the plan. Help reveal a plan that we can put into place for both men and for both young men and young women, so that we can make the future for them a whole better place. In Jesus' name we pray. Thank you. We love y'all. God bless you. Good night, James.
I say. You have a good day, my beautiful sister.
Mwah.
Thanks for having me